What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik, the hardest working man in sports and gaming. And let's talk about this next screenshot that came out for NBA 2K20. It is of new Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler. Y'all know one of my favorite players. No, not exactly, but a very good player nonetheless. And the new render, so on the left side is the NBA 2K19 render. On the right side is the 2K20 render. And this picture was originally taken by Steve Noah. I took the real life picture of Jimmy and put him there in the middle as a little bit of a frame of reference there. And so here's my thing. As I mentioned in the Kimber Walker video, you can tell that the body types to me uh, still aren't really quite properly representing the guys who have the thicker shoulders, just more muscular builds. Feels like they're really trying not to make their guys look super muscular like they did some years before. And I think those efforts are maybe a little bit too exaggerated. You do see some of the new sweat effects, which looks to be coming off pretty authentic. But this unquestionably is a better render than the last year. Uh, the other one, I don't know. It looks like, how a guy's face, people's face changes over the years, right? Just something that goes on with the aging process. It looks like the person, but just looks like a younger or an older version. The old render that 2K had been using for Jimmy Butler's face looked like a very, very young Jimmy Butler, and he looks a little bit different now. So clearly, the new one is more accurate and more on point for the way he looks now. I still think that the head width is a little too skinny for Jimmy because Jimmy's head is kind of wide. I also think that definitely we're looking at another version of the neck width is not as wide as it needs to be. I think the necks are really an area of focus for need to be an area of focus for 2K's renders because most of the two people that I've seen so far, they're that's one of the things that I see that's kind of a little bit off. I do think that the hands and fingers look to be a little bit more realistic. I'm looking at this. I can see this in Jimmy Butler because it wasn't really visible in the Kimber Walker post. But yeah, I mean, definitely better. If I was to give this one a grade on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this one more like a 8.5, 8.75. I definitely think it's a little bit sharper than the Kimber Walker. Definitely a clear improvement from last year's version, and I didn't think last year's was horrible, but this one's definitely a clear improvement. But I do think that it's still missing a little bit from Jimmy, the real Jimmy. Just a little. It's a little too long. His head's a little too long and not quite wide enough. Jimmy's face is a little more scrunched in there. Just if you look at him, and then like I said, the head's a little wider. But and then also even looking at the ears are too round on the 2K20 version. They're actually more accurate, it looks to me, on the 19 version. So they changed up the ears a little bit. But all of this is kind of more so like nitpicking. Overall, it's great. It's pretty solid. Nobody is going to be like, oh, I can't stand playing with the Heat because this doesn't even look like Jimmy. You're definitely going to be able to recognize him as you play, no matter what view you're playing in. You'll be able to see him. And that's the bottom line for the most part. You don't want anything that is a distraction or takes away from your immersion. And I don't think that'll be the case. So, but as usual, I do want to hear what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that this is a big improvement from last year's version? Do you think overall you're pleased with what you're seeing from the way that these renders are looking? What direction do you think that they're going in based off of what you're seeing? So, as usual, I appreciate you watching. If you have not left a like on this video, please do so. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do that. And also don't forget to click that notifications bell as well so that you will be notified when new videos drop. As usual, I appreciate you watching. God bless and peace.
pocket, I'll be weak. I'm rather unique.